Welcome to the Horror Syndicate Discourse. I almost ended broadcast because I had I need to click off that screen to get rid of the Candyman poster art or whatever, and I almost hit end broadcast. That would have been awesome. Start, you get to see the Candyman thing, and then I'm gone. How about that? All right. So welcome to the show. This is Discourse number 587. I want to welcome all of 14,000 of our followers and our 10 actual followers.
We have 10 now?
Yeah, it's probably more like 5. But we have 14,000. We're closing in on 15,000, but, only like 10 true followers that actually follow us. Hello. Tonight, we are going to talk about Candyman. We're going to touch on, I think, all 4 movies. I can't really say much about the Day of the Dead because I still have not opened my DVD copy I bought like 20 years ago. So we won't be talking about that as much probably. Did you get a chance to watch that, Keith?
I tried.
You tried.
It was. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad when an actor disowns their own movie, and Tony Todd does that.
When people tell me a movie's bad, I'm usually like, they probably just don't like it or something like that. But no, it's a pretty bad movie.
I kind of wish Scream Factory would put out a Blu-ray just to kind of go with their other 2 editions. I know you got the Arrow, but not everybody's rich. So
it's like the same price.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? I saw the Candyman Scream Factory for $8 at Walmart last Halloween. So
price. I think it's out of print now, but I could be wrong.
Well, it's worth getting if it's still available. No, I saw it on Amazon for like 13 or 14. I don't know why that one's so cheap, and Amazon's like, oh, you want a Scream Factory? It's $37, please. So, a couple things we want to start with. First, I want to start with my beautiful panel members here. Seth, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing today?
Well, you know how I'm doing. And Keith.
Wow, what was that introduction?
I read something, and I blanked for like a second. Keith.
Surprisingly chipper today, which is abnormal.
That's good. Probably getting excited about Horror Hound next week.
Probably.
Yeah.
My wallet's not excited.
Buy me stuff, please. Not to mention, Justice League's coming out next week on 4K. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So those who don't know, I've been against 4K, not for any reason, just because fun. So, and plus, it's I can roll my eyes at Keith every time. He's like, I got a new 4K, and I'm like, oh, who cares?
It comes out in 4K now. Get it on 4K.
I'm gonna get So now I'm gonna get. That's gonna be my first 4K, which oddly enough is it's probably gonna lead me into getting all of those Halloween Scream Factories on 4K. Because I'm stupid, and I need 6 fucking copies of Halloween for some reason. But anyway, so first things first, we got Christy before her phone dies. This is my number 1 man stopping in to say hi. I'm gonna phone dying. I hope you're safe down there. I heard people are starting to get their power back. I wanted to ask you guys, actually, you're both relatively on the East Coast. Did you guys get hit by any of the storm after it messed up?
They were telling us we were going to get like 2 to 6 inches of rain, and then nothing happened. We had some drizzle. And that was about it.
New York got hit pretty hard. And New Jersey. I should call Brian, see how he's doing. Seth, anything for you? Did you guys get hit with anything?
No, we just had some rain. I live right next to a river, and it didn't even really raise up that high, so
yeah,
kind of lucked out here.
Well, I know they said it was pretty erratic, and they couldn't really track it completely accurately.
Yeah, we never get anything fun being in the Midwest. We get, the leftovers from the storms. They always hit the East Coast and stuff. We get tornadoes every now and again, but I live on this. I guess it's a bluff, on the top of a freaking cliff, basically. And it's like they're like, oh, watch out, St. Louis is going to get hit by this tornado, and it's moving towards Illinois. And I live right on the border of Illinois and St. Louis or Missouri. And by the time it hits where I live, it spreads out and goes to the other 2 towns, and we don't get shit. We get a light wind. We get a light breeze. So anyway, first things first, we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We're going to flash up a couple things. So get ready. No, I'm joking. We're going to show off. This just came out. I'm a big fan of Shudder. I know Keith is a big fan of Shudder, and we're trying to convert Seth. So they released what's new for Shudder coming up in September, and here's what's coming up. And I wanted to ask you guys if there's anything that's catching your eye, anything that makes you want to get Shudder, Seth. I mean, you got Carrie, which you probably have on Blu-ray. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Have you seen Life Force?
I actually own it. I haven't seen it yet, though.
So good.
Yeah.
The new Creep show's decent. The first season I wasn't a fan. The second season they definitely stepped it up.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff on Shudder, but the thing I'm most looking forward to, Hammer House of Horror, the series is coming on there, and that sounded dirty. Hammer House of Horrors is coming on there. Anyway, the House of the Devil's coming back, which has been on there before. The stuff is good. So I wonder if they're going to add the Joe Bob episode from way back when for the House of the Devil, because that was a good one. But I'm excited. If you guys haven't seen Grave Encounters and Grave Encounters 2, it's better than you think. It's a found footage movie, and it's actually better than you think. My question is, which Poltergeist do you think this is? Is it the original?
It's the original.
Is it? Okay. Because I didn't get too far into it. And
The Haunting's also the original.
Oh, from 63?
Yeah.
Nice. That's actually underrated in my opinion.
And then Invasion is 78.
Seth probably need to go ahead and get yourself some Shudder.
Yeah, so you watch Joe Bob next month.
Actually, Joe Bob's really, really fun, in my opinion. The other thing I wanted to do was a good friend of mine, Zane Hirschberger, has a movie that is funding on Indiegogo. It's called Treaters. And yes, Zane's actually a friend of mine. He's not just some guy, filmmaker. It's like, hey, can you share this for me? Because you know what I usually do? Nope. Because I'm an asshole. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the campaign for Treaters, show you guys what's there. The link is actually on our Facebook page now. And they did a mock trailer for this on 10/31. Actually, I wonder how long this video is. That's way too long. It's 6 minutes long. Sorry, Zane. But
I like you, but not that much.
Yeah, I do. But if you've ever seen 10/31 Part 2, they've got a mock trailer for it. And I remember when I saw it, I messaged Zane. I was like, dude, this has to be a feature. You have to show this. You have to make this movie at some point. And he's finally getting the chance to make it. They're looking for $25K. I get paid tomorrow, so I'm planning on backing it myself. But I got to talk to him about some of his what are these called? Rewards.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing missing that I don't see.
Is it a Blu-ray?
It's a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So, and I know that...
I know they're expensive to get produced, though.
Well, the thing is, I'm almost 100% certain, because he's really tight with Justin Seaman from The Barn.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that Scream Team will release this once it's out, and that might be why. God, every time I have cheese.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
I have a hard time backing things that don't have Blu-rays because I don't want a digital copy of it.
Well,
I want a movie.
It's great to help people out and everything like that, but I do want something to show for it. Like that's why when I did back like Voorhees and some of these other Friday the 13th movies or Never Hike Alone, I made sure to get something out of it because it's just I do the comics and why wouldn't you get the comic if you put money towards it?
It should at least be like a poster or something.
Right? Yeah, and I'm gonna have a stern talking to with that boy. But anyway, check out Treaters. I'll post the link in the comments now if you want to check it out. It's supporting indie. I'm a physical man too there, Luke. Wow, that's a long fucking link. Jesus, hold on. Let me get a shorter link. But I'm hoping that they will release this one day with Scream 2. I'll talk to Justin too. I also got to ask Justin, where the fuck is The Barn Part 2, bro?
Yeah, I backed that one.
Yeah. So, anywho, I know you guys aren't here to talk about indie horror because apparently nobody cares about indie horror. Let's see. Let's catch up on the comments right now. I heard you were a physical man. Yeah, Grave Encounters. Check them out. Scott's here. Yes, I agree. Shudder is really stepping up. I have Shudder, but if they get all they need to get the Hammer franchises because they're not streaming anywhere, and I think they're kind of getting lost in the shuffle, and people aren't paying attention to them. And I think like Scream Factory's been releasing a lot of it, and I've noticed that a lot of things that Scream Factory releases, we end up seeing on Shudder at some point. So hopefully, we'll get that going because I know Seth shares a love of Hammer horror with me. So by the way, here is that link. Check it out or don't. It's up to you. Oh God, I'd love to see. Yeah, I mean, I just watched the Horror Dracula a couple days ago. Man, that's definitely one of my favorites. I know Seth is probably partial to Curse of the Werewolf, but
actually, surprisingly, it's what was the first Frankenstein movie there?
Yeah,
Curse of Frankenstein.
The Curse of Frankenstein.
Yep. What's his name?
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing. Like, in the way they handle his version of Dr. Frankenstein is fan-fucking-tastic.
It is. It really is. I mean, I do like the Universal movie, of course. You do too. But man, there's something about this one that I just adore. So, do you guys want to talk about Candyman for a little bit? Maybe like 7 minutes? That's all I got. 7 minutes.
I'll give you 6.5.
Keith, you got anything? I mean, do I hear 6 minutes? So we all did get to go see Candyman over the weekend. I think I was the first one to see it because that matters, of course. Number one. No, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I liked every second of it. I like the way they handled the lore. I love the way they handled like talking about the legend of Candyman with all the shadow puppets. I thought that was phenomenal. And one of my favorite parts. There's two of my favorite parts, and there might be some spoilers here, but the legend of Helen from the first movie, they made her seem like she was a batshit crazy person who just cut a dog's head off, which I thought was great. I thought they handled that well. And then seeing the mother of Anthony, that whole scene with her was awesome, I thought, even though you kind of get to see the whole thing in the trailer. But yeah, so let's first impressions, guys. Let's start with Keith because I know Seth's got a different kind of feel.
I mean, well, I rewatched the first and second one. Tried to watch the third one.
First of all, how far did you get in the third one?
I don't know, like not even halfway, probably. The acting is just god awful. It's so bad.
That's about as far as I got too.
I feel like I was watching like a Birdemic production.
Oh God.
But I watched both of those before just to have everything fresh. The second one I hadn't seen in a long time, but I think the new one is like just as good as the original. Like I feel like it's maybe like a bar lower than the original, but they're pretty equal. I feel like they tonally they go together more than like the second one and the first one, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I really like Farewell to the Flesh quite a bit. I think it's underrated as a horror movie in general. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Let's get on Seth's opinion here because he's number 2 in my book. She still does look young, absolutely. I was like, hey, oh my God, did she not age? The movie was too predictable, nowhere close to the original. Okay, Seth, enlighten us.
I mean, overall, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I have, just some, I think, minor issues here and there, but I would say I still prefer Candyman 2 over the new one because as cool as the new one is, and we'll get into the positives of the new one, but when I think of Candyman, I think of Tony Todd and Candyman having a presence, and this is very creative the way it was done. Yeah. Nia DaCosta proved to be a great director. She had a lot of really interesting shots and a lot of interesting ways of capturing the violence and stuff. But I guess I'm more of I prefer the old school Candyman.
Yeah, you prefer the in-face Candyman, not possession Candyman.
Yeah, well, and there's just some Candyman had a presence in the original. He was a character, and there was something about him. It was like a combination of like, Dracula and the Mummy in a way, with the way that it was there was a seduction there, and the way that Helen's eyes were, the way they were lit, and and of course the idea that she's like the reincarnation of his long lost love. Um, I just like that aspect of it. The new one, I like the myth and the building of the myth that they were doing. And, like you said, with Helen, at first when they were telling that story, I was like, that's not how it fucking goes. It took me a minute to be like, okay, well, this is how it is, with a story being passed on.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Things get twisted and all that, and then they kind of corrected that later on with Anne Marie McCoy telling Anthony about what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of balanced that out, but yeah, I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it. That's my opinion.
It's a good opinion. Valid. I like that you had a different opinion than what I had. I mean, I loved it, and I mean, the thing going into it, I saw it a day later, but people on some of these horror groups were already, and I try to stay out of groups. Period. You guys know that about me.
Mm-hmm.
I heard nothing but negative things, but it was all because it was all race related, really, because of the I guess somebody said that they kind of beat you over the head with the racial injustice. I don't think so. I mean, did you see the first movie? I mean, that's my good question. But I really, it's funny. Luke says groups suck. Yeah, they do. I see him comment on some of the same stuff I do, and I usually do it just for fun. But and I was like, I don't give a shit what they say. I think I'm gonna like this movie. I absolutely adore the first movie, 100% completely. It had, first of all, Tony Todd, 100% excellent giant of a man, because I've met him up close, and he's like 10 feet taller than me. And he's one of the things about Tony Todd that was great about the first Candyman movie, that was his voice was something that really helped the movie, in my opinion. That wasn't there in this one. This movie was really led by the main characters. I'm not going to try to Black Manta. Let's just say that he plays Black Manta in Aquaman, and he was great. I loved seeing like his descent. Really, I thought it was fantastic. And that's one of the things I always talk about. And Nate made fun of me once because I like character development, but there's a lot there. You get to know these characters from the beginning, and you really start to care about, especially Anthony. I really liked his character and what he was going through. I also liked, which is something I think people are starting to see more, which was the idea there's more than one Candyman. And is that a spoiler? But because they showed the guy from the late 70s with the yellow coat, and he had a hook for a hand, and he liked to give kids candy, and the white girl gets killed because there's a razor blade in her candy, and they go after him. And I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool, which I think, Seth, I think you called that when the first trailer came out, thinking there would be multiple Candymans way back in like 2020.
Well, yeah, that's because I'm an asshole and I like to look up spoilers.
Oh, you
so
son of a
there
bitch.
was.
I thought you had some kind of insight. Oh man.
No, man, I'm not that special. I'm small potatoes. Okay. Yeah. I like the idea of multiple Candymen, but I don't know. I feel like there was no reason for Tony Todd not to have a bigger presence in this movie. I don't really understand why the Candyman that was created in the 70s was the more prominent. And where the fuck was he in 1992?
Right. I thought that too. Keep going.
So a lot of really interesting ideas here. And to just go back a little bit to the social commentary thing, I don't want to say too much, but I don't mind social commentary in movies. I'm a George Romero fan. I'm a fan of the original Candyman. And there's lots of movies that have it, but I think they're more subtle. I think this new one, was just maybe a little bit heavy-handed, at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't quite feel certain things were earned. I really don't understand Coleman Domingo's character, the whole revelation with his character. You're mad about all this injustice, so you're gonna set up an innocent black man to get murdered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that part was a little like just like thrown, in my opinion. Like we're like you're just watching the movie and you're just there immediately. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, I agree.
I feel like it's also he's crazy, and he wants people to remember Candyman because it haunts him because he's that child from the 70s.
That's the thing is I would understand if it was like maybe if they combine the characters to where instead of having this guy as a separate character, it's Anthony who's doing all this to set himself up to be a martyr, to create this new specific Candyman with a specific purpose.
I can see that.
But I don't want to get too much into the social commentary thing.
Did need more Tony Todd. So yeah, I do think they could have done plenty. I was worried about Tony Todd looking old, and I keep forgetting that these movies they're de-aging people and doing a better job than X3. So yeah. I keep forgetting they could have de-aged Tony Todd, and Tony Todd for the most part. I mean, I love Virginia Madsen in the movie, but in the first movie, but Tony Todd was Candyman, and he was the series, and I don't see why they focused on a Candyman that should have been present in the 90s, like you guys are saying, more in 92. So it kind of does now that I think about it, it does kind of like maybe tinkle a little bit on the original movie in a way.
The way I look at it with that, because you're saying where's this guy in the 90s? So like even in the 90s movie, like Candyman is like he's like a boogeyman. He's a scary story, blah, 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 blah. So at the end, I'm going to spoil the end. So if nobody's seen it who's watching, you're going to hate me. But
hold on. Should I flash a spoiler alert somehow?
But at the end, we see Tony Todd. And it's like, again, all of the stuff that's gone through Anthony has given Tony Todd enough power to finally, like, the original Candyman to come back to like the present, if that makes sense. So like in the original,
go on.
I was gonna say so in the original, like Candyman is present and like he is the main front. But we don't know what happened before the 90s movie, like literally like abruptly right before the movie starts. So it could be something else occurred and also brought Candyman back to the present. And we just don't know about that.
Yeah.
Again, it's stuff we don't know. That's the way I look at it.
This Angel or Angel, however, I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name, but he's got a point. He did say it was Candyman who was Candyman to him. I guess that could explain why he wasn't present, because Helen and her friend can't remember her name. They were studying the original lore of Candyman. They heard the stories, and they were doing all that about the original Candyman. So and I wonder if that guy that said "I'm Candyman, bitch" and beat the shit out of her was also a Candyman to some of the people of Cabrini Green. Did you ever think about that? Even though he didn't have a hook, because the little boy points to the bathroom and says Candyman's in there. And he beats a woman, but
yeah, because it was all about keeping the legend going.
Yeah.
Just to go back there, like I understand, like I caught that line, when Coleman said, "Candyman for me was I forgot what he said the character's name was," and that would make sense for him to see that version of Candyman, like when they did the flashback, when he was a kid and those people were in the bathroom. And he saw the reflection in the mirror, but this is the same Candyman that we see in the reflection throughout the entire movie. So why is it this specific Candyman that's not related to Anthony in terms of, because they make a big deal out of the fact that Anthony, Daniel Robitaille, the original Candyman, wanted Anthony for something. He wanted Anthony to burn with him as a baby.
Yeah.
So it feels like it would have been more fitting to have Tony Todd be the Candyman that's kind of taken out all of the people that were pretty much against his art, instead of the Candyman that he never knew, he never had. I don't know.
Mhm.
You could say though it was a suggestion, where because of the story that Coleman's character told him, that was
Maybe
kind of that manifested, I guess.
that's probably why. Yeah, I was just thinking that actually. That's probably because that guy told him about his Candyman.
And that's a subconscious image he has.
Yeah, and so he projected it onto Anthony, and I'm curious,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, yeah. Anthony
See,
was the one seeing. Go ahead.
I'll say I'm really
a
looking
good point.
forward to hoping the physical release has like a commentary, because I'd like to like watch it with what their intent was with each thing. I'll say one thing, I don't think I wanted Tony Todd in the movie, but I think it would have been cool to just use Candyman, like use his voice, like talking to Anthony, or like he's in his
That would've
head,
been cool, yeah.
or it could have gone back and forth between the 70s Candyman and the original Candyman.
I don't know, something. There was something about that '70s Candyman that I really liked. Like, here was a friendly guy who just liked to give kids candy, who happened to have a hook for a hand. And one other thing I got to ask though before you get into it a little bit more. Do you think is it Coleman? Is that what you said his name is? The guy that run the laundromat?
Yeah, Coleman Domingo.
I thought it was funny, first of all, that his mom was trying to get him to do laundry at the beginning of the movie, and then he ends up running a laundromat. But the thing that also, why did he go to the apartment at Cabrini Green when he's living in a different apartment building to do his laundry? That was weird. But do you think there was guilt also there because he screamed when he saw the guy come out of the wall, the 70s Candyman?
Oh, definitely,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he carried that guilt of, Sherman, I think the guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He carried the guilt for that guy's death, because it turned out he was innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing too, I just want to say before I forget, is the whole thing with the razor blade and the candy. That's directly in the first one when Helen goes through the wall, where she sees that big mural. There's the candy on the floor, and she like cuts her hand. I thought that was pretty cool that they kind of tied that in a little bit.
And I don't blame him. I mean, if I was a child and a man came out of the wall and tried to give me candy
with a hook for a hand,
I'd be freaked out too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would agree. He screamed, and the cops, and that they were sitting there waiting for something. I mean, I guess I don't know if this is true, but I guess they were always there at Cabrini Green, just waiting for something to happen. But
when young, what the hell's his name? Coleman Domingo's character, Burke, I think his name is Burke. Yeah, when they in the very beginning when he was walking by, the cop whistled to him and showed him like a photo, like an artist.
Yeah.
So they were specifically looking for that guy, and he knew that that's the guy that they were looking for. But then he found out, after the guy died, that the guy was innocent.
Yeah, that's something we see a lot these days. But yeah, overall, the new Candyman, I don't think it deserves all the hate it's been getting.
No,
but it's been a mixed bag because I see people who are just loving it. It's done pretty well in the box office, but I also it seemed like the crowd I was in, they liked it, except for the people that were talking that actually got a stern warning, which I haven't seen in years in the theater, by the way. These people were talking and on their cell phones and using a flashlight. A guy got up in front of me, went down, told somebody, and the usher, who was probably 17, 18 years old, came up and just stood there like this and looked at him. You be quiet. People are trying to watch the movie. And I was like, yes, 18-year-old justice.
Or I had somebody turn their phone on when I was in the theater, but the theater I go to now has reclining seats. So his phone came on. I reclined my seat back enough just to where I couldn't see his phone screen. It's like problem solved.
That sucks when people I don't get why people go to the theater to be on their phone and play around.
Yeah.
Because I told you when I saw Black Widow, I get to tell you about the people who are romping around and switching seats and all that shit. It's like, come on, you paid money to see this. Watch it. Don't fucking dick around.
No, the audiences I was with, some of them seemed to enjoy it, but the thing that bothered me the most is whenever the end credits started rolling, I sat there and watched, like, I was glued to the screen watching that whole puppet show through the entire credits, and then it finished, and like I went to stand up, nobody was in the theater with me, and the ushers were like waiting for me to leave so they could clean, and I'm like, really?
That was me too.
I was like, this is more story, and I liked the little puppet show because like it goes all the way back to crap, I just forgot his name.
Burke.
No, not Burke. The there was a child in the 30s who got executed by electrocution. He was innocent. Hang on, Google. George Stinney. That's who they were depicting in that like in credits thing.
Oh, I just found out. I didn't realize that that's Monica Rambeau. That was playing Brianna. I didn't realize that was from WandaVision. She'll be in Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was her. She was great, by the way. I was like, ooh, we need to see more of her. And guess what? I already have. I didn't realize it.
What was your guys' favorite scene in the movie?
You go, Seth. I already said mine.
Did you?
Yeah, well, the scene with his mom. Because that like hit me hard because I was waiting for somebody to tell him the truth, and she did. She told him like, and she wasn't going to. And then that other scene that I mentioned, I already forgot. But anyway, Seth, what about you?
Ooh, favorite scene? I don't know.
I'll say mine's small, and I don't know why. It's the thing that's stuck in my head since I watched it. Is whenever he's at that art critic's house. And the whole. Well, they do that whole mirror thing, which I loved. But yeah, the part whenever they're moving away from the apartments and you just see her like getting thrown around and like floating in that window.
I like that you could see. It reminded me of The Ring. There's a scene like that in The Ring where they pull away from her apartment. You can see everything going on in everybody else's apartment.
Yeah, there's like someone watching TV and
somebody's watching football. Like it must be Sunday night, bitch. But or Monday night, I guess. Yeah, I thought that scene was cool. But yeah, him in the mirror. I was waiting for something like that to happen. Not the mirror part, but do you notice there's a heavy presence of mirrors in this movie?
Yes, 100%. I loved all the like reflections and how they showed Candyman, because they do the one mirror from the art gallery, Anthony's piece. You see him like ripping the projector curtain and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you got the makeup mirror in the school bathroom, and then like the cop cars reflection on the windows.
I don't think it was as present in the original movie. So let's play devil's advocate. First of all, do you see another Candyman moving forward? And will it be Black Manta? Because I can't pronounce his name. I'm not going to try.
I would imagine so. I mean, they do, if they want to continue on with Candyman, they're going to have to move away from Tony Todd.
Yahia.
They definitely set it up, setting this whole thing up with many different Candymen and with Anthony becoming one at the end. As long as it makes money, they'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I need another one. Like I like the ending the way it is. Like I feel like I don't feel like it's such like a setup at the end that I'm like I need a sequel. Like I think it's like a good ending, just to be like he's back, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean I thought that way about the '92 film as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will make another one because it's already past its budget.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll take one. I'll watch any movie that comes out.
Well, I heard they're gonna do a shot-for-shot remake of Day of the Dead, so with a different team. I wouldn't mind seeing another one, but yeah, this would be a great way to close out Candyman, even though he's back. But I will, as much as I like this, the social commentary and racial injustice. The number one thing I got out of this was that this is the blueprint to make a new Elm Street sequel, not a remake, a sequel. And it's almost kind of like this. This is almost just. And by the way, I wish they would have fucking named it Candyman Returns or something else.
Yeah.
Throw that out there. I fucking hate this shit. I'm so over this. Having the Scream. We were just talking about this the other day on the chat. Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream. Get the fuck out of here. Give me Scream 5 and give me nothing. You know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick titles on the end of my movies.
Yeah, I got a. I'm gonna just put a number 5 on there. Get a sticker. But I saw. I don't know if you guys caught this at all, but did you see a way to bring Freddy back?
Well, I feel like there's always been a way to bring Freddy back, and that's part 2. Like, it's simple, just possession movie. I mean, this is a possession movie as well, but like it's already in Freddy's like canon storyline with part 2.
I think the way this. I mean, I don't want to turn into a Freddy show, but I'm watching this. Freddy being like, and they do it in Freddy's Dead, where he's kind of forgotten. You know, and this was part of like Peter Jackson's script where he wasn't exactly forgotten, or somebody's script, but he like kids would go beat on him. But Freddy's forgotten, and somebody's there with the legend, and he ignites some kids' interest, you know, and they can bring it back and make it a part 6, and they'll just call it a Nightmare on Elm Street, of course.
Oh yes, 100%.
I saw every time while I was watching this, I was like, this makes me feel like the people that want to make a Nightmare on Elm Street movie should watch this and take notes. It's kind of the same like Halloween, but they wouldn't have to skip over any sequels except, well, Freddy's Dead's in a world on its own, and so is Nightmare, in my opinion. But I don't know. This made me hyped for a Nightmare on Elm Street 6, and they forgot about Freddy. Somebody like perked up somebody's head. Yeah.
Hey,
somebody died. Oh, that's like what happened in 1984 at Nancy.
I just thought of the perfect thing. So part 5 ends with Lisa Wilcox and her boy toy, and they have a baby, right?
Dan,
so yeah, years later, Dan's grown up. He's going through his mom's shit, finds some box full of all the newspaper stuff, and then Freddy tries to, you know, possess him because he's the one that brought back the memory of Freddy. Okay. And then we get the Dream Master back in a movie, and of course she has to die immediately.
The kid's name's Jacob, not Dan. Dan's the father. Remember the first day I saw Candyman. Go ahead, say whatever you're gonna say.
I was saying then Seth's gonna cry because we're gonna kill Lisa Wilcox off in the first like 10 minutes of the movie.
No, we're not doing that.
Yes, it has to happen that way, because then you're like, we have the Dream Master, and she just beat him again. She has to die.
I have my own sequel script going, so that's just.
I did too. I wrote one years ago, but this kind of brought things to light. So anyway, back to Candyman. Let's talk about the original movie and its sequel for a few minutes, because I love that movie, and it was kind of one that I fell asleep on, if you will, back in the 90s. I watched it and I was like, oh, whatever, you know, and it was just okay for me. But like watching it as an adult and understanding it a little bit more, it's become one of my favorites. It's definitely my favorite of the 90s. And this movie, as much as I liked it, and again, we didn't talk about the score. The score was great in the new one, but the score in the original Candyman is so fucking good and yes, timeless, and it's a beautiful piece of music throughout the whole movie. But what are you guys? Where are you at on Candyman, the original?
I have a question about it, because so every time you guys watch the original Candyman, does it feel like a fever dream? Because every time I watch it, I feel like I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like I don't know the movie for some reason, even though I've seen it like 10 times. Because it's all over the place when I watch it.
No.
I don't know why. Every time I watch it, I feel like I've never seen it before. I don't know why.
No, I mean, I like not seeing it for 25 years and then seeing it in like 2016 or whatever it was. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this, you know. But no, I know pretty much what's going to happen. And then, of course, you get the scene with the girl and her nipples and her poking out of the white shirt. Gotta love that. Anyway, I got to be a pervert for a second, you know.
For a second.
Yeah, but
he talks about that, not the bathtub scene.
Well, I was thinking about that when I was talking about Helen earlier, but I didn't want to bring it up. It's like, turn a little bit more, please. Just a little bit more. It's like, I didn't realize her boobs were so nice. Anyway, when she's getting, she has to take her clothes off in front of the cop, lift your left breast.
You get a phone call, we're canceled.
It's funny, I just got a phone call right when you said that. Anyway, Seth, talk about Candyman for me.
I love the original film. I think it's fantastic all the way around. It, from what I understand, because I still haven't read the short story, The Forbidden. But what I understand is it's thematically pretty much around the same, with differences. And I like some of the differences that Bernard Rose did for it, particularly bringing it to Chicago and giving Candyman his backstory. And I love the score from Philip Glass. I think that's fantastic. Just the whole movie in general. It's so good all the way through. I love it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite horror movie of the '90s, but it's definitely it's got to be my top 5 at least.
Yes.
Of the '90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stop for a second. What else is in there? I know Scream is.
Yeah, Scream.
This '90s is like
madness.
I like how Seth leaned into the microphone.
Yeah, I know. I knew that also, but like, what else? I mean, In the Mouth of Madness would probably be my number 2, and everybody I've told that would be like, what about Scream? I'm like, I love Scream, but it's not my favorite of the '90s. What would you say? Misery. Yeah. Night of the Living Dead.
Let's see. 90s horror. We got Candyman, People Under the Stairs.
Yeah.
Why is this called The Return of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? That's not the name of it. That's Next Generation.
No, that's
Jacob's,
is that
the original title?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Jacob's Ladder, Night of the Living Dead remake. It belongs in the top 5.
It is in my top 5 for sure.
Yes. Sleepwalkers, Leprechaun, Troll 2, Event Horizon. New Nightmare would be in mine.
I put Freddy's Dead ahead in mine. No.
In the Mouth Madness, Urban Legend, Curse Michael Myers, The Haunting, Faculty. I love Faculty.
Faculty's underrated. Where's the Blu-ray release?
Yeah, I don't actually have that.
No.
House on Haunted Hill, Wishmaster, Misery, Scream. Do you?
Blu-ray?
The Faculty?
I have it on DVD. I can't find a Blu-ray.
I think there's a standard DVD maybe, or Blu-ray.
Yeah, I ordered off Blu-ray like a couple months ago.
Dude.
Arachnophobia.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sleepy Hollow, if you count that. I love that movie.
Yeah, well, we'll tell us what your favorite movie from favorite horror movies from the 1990s are, because I'm always curious about what everybody's favorites are. I mean,
Ray's favorites on here.
What?
Tremors.
Oh Lord.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that's on my list. That's why Scream would be like maybe even 4th or 5th. Night of the Living Dead. I love the remake of Night of the Living Dead. There is a Blu-ray for it.
Is there? Yeah, it's probably just a standard release.
Yeah. How did I miss out on that?
I don't own it. I need to get it.
I don't want to. I got to wait till it's 4K.
No, Ray. The way it works is you buy it on Blu-ray, then it comes out on 4K. You haven't understood the pain yet.
So this one's $15. It comes with digital. Apparently, it was released last September.
I missed.
How did I miss this? I'm slipping in my old age. I'm gonna add that to the cart. I really like The Faculty. What do you guys think of The Faculty? I mean, in general,
it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, right? They kind of took that teen, serial killer movie and
Troll 2.
Was that in the 90s?
Yes, it's a terrible movie. Yes.
So okay. Anyway,
back to Candyman.
Back to Candyman.
It is the most different horror movie.
It's like for me, it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street, where it did everything differently. It changed the game a little bit.
Well, I don't even mean in that. I mean like it's not made like a horror movie.
Oh, Seth, you can't hide smoking a cigarette. We saw that.
You said it's a cigarette.
Oh. Maybe smoking a bowl. I don't know.
No, like it's a very like
good stuff.
It's a very like poetic movie, which isn't really something we get in horror like that often.
And Candyman doesn't even show up till really late in the movie, which I think was great. It focuses on Helen and Bernadette's the story, and then you get the legend with Ted Raimi, of course, and a girl in a bra. I'm sure that was the only time he's ever been with a girl in a bra.
Me and Kayla are watching it, and as soon as Ted Raimi got on screen, she was like, "That guy looks like a fucking douchebag." And I was like, "That's Sam Raimi's brother." And she was like,
"You mean Ted Raimi from Shocker?"
She was like, "Who's Sam Raimi?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Uh-oh, so Luke's coming over. Yeah, I like the faculty. So anyway,
the entrance of Candyman is amazing in the original. The whole parking garage scene, and his voice is just like echoing through the. Yeah, it's so good.
It's really good. There's this scene where she's in the asylum, I guess, and he's hovering above her, and she ends up knowing that she's been out for days or whatever. Like I feel like when the movie hits the point where you see him, it starts going faster, like moving faster, which is unfortunate because it's one of those movies where I feel like I can keep watching it for hours if I could. But luckily there is a sequel called Farewell to the Flesh, which is definitely a Hellraiser title, in my opinion. It's like we dropped the ball here. We'll name it a movie Hell World, but not Farewell to the Flesh, and that's like the Hellraiser thing, huh?
It's very, very Clive Barker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I guess he came up with the story for Farewell to the Flesh.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, that he's credited as story by. So I don't know if that's
that could just be the short story though.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, maybe.
Because sometimes they do it that way.
But he was involved with the making of the second film. So
after watching the second one though, because I hadn't seen it in a very long time, I didn't really remember hardly anything about it. I want a copy of the book, and I want a replica of the mirror. But like the other thing is, like, I feel like Hatchet took a lot from this movie. Like the whole time I was watching it, I was getting like Hatchet 1 vibes, even though I get it's New Orleans, but like the way the characters were and everything.
Demon Wind is another silly movie.
No!
That movie is a giant turd. There's one guy who's like, "Oh, that's my favorite movie of all time." I'm like, "Really?"
Didn't Jared try to get you to watch that a bunch? And you
no, it wasn't. It was the Neon Demon. But
okay.
I like Farewell to the Flesh. That was another one that I didn't see till a little bit later, and it really surprised me as how good it was. Good story.
I'll say the best part of it, to me, in my opinion, is the whole reenactment of like his original.
Yeah, you get to see his origin, which I guess is not in Chicago at this point. I don't remember if it was in Chicago or not, but if it looked like, basically because most of it's based in Louisiana, down in Nolens.
Yeah, it pulled a weird like Freddy versus Jason thing, where they're like, we got to get Jason to Camp Crystal Lake, and they drive like through the night, and they're there.
The one thing what was that?
I was just gonna say they were pretty inconsistent with the second one, because in the first one they say that Daniel Robitaille was killed in Chicago and his ashes were scattered all about where Cabrini Green is. But then in Farewell to the Flesh, they have it, everything involving Candyman was set in Louisiana. So just a fuck up, I guess.
Which I wonder if that's why they kind of retcon a little bit in this one, the new one. But I don't know. I like it. I thought Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. I don't remember Day of the Dead at all. I probably will never watch it unless Scream Factory does release a Blu-ray. I've had that DVD copy for years and I still haven't opened it. So why open it now?
Yeah, it's a like artisan release.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to point out, since you talked about how they kind of retconned to sequels, in my opinion, all of it can happen just because the way that the Helen story is told, again, these stories go down and they get mixed up and they're wrong. And so like all this stuff could happen.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like, is Candyman omnipotent? Can he do whatever he wants, be wherever he wants? Like Freddy? As long as he's summoned, because he can be summoned anywhere, right? As long as somebody says his name in the mirror 5 times. Have you guys ever done that?
I have not, but I mean, technically we're all looking at ourselves in the camera, so.
What about Bloody Mary? Because that say her name 5 times, and we'll have to call the Winchesters.
One thing I will say that was weird in the new one, which it kind of is in all of them, is the way, like, when people get teased into saying Candyman, like, the way they react is just weird. The main character in the second one, I think, did it the best because she didn't like act all freaked out when she was getting to the end and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't seem realistic to me because I feel like in real life, if someone teased me to say Candyman in the mirror, I would literally just look at the mirror and say Candyman, 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 and like. But I get for a movie, it takes away the
And yet
dramatic.
you fell one shy just now.
Candyman, God,
it doesn't count. You talk too much in between.
I don't know, because like the girls in the school, they were all just like they're like a cult, all just staring in the mirror, which was kind of weird.
I thought that was cool. I like that scene.
I like the kill scene where like.
Well, I like the one girl was like, "No, fuck this. I'm heading." You got out of there before anything went down.
She's like, "Nib."
Yeah, I thought that was good. Seth, what's up? You look very puzzled or upset.
No, I was just kind of reading up about Farewell to the Flesh.
He's researching.
Do tell.
I'll have to look into it more. Yeah, you could be absolutely right. He got the story by credit just because of the Forbidden, I guess.
Yeah, I would say that happens a lot.
I didn't even really think. I know that happens a lot. I didn't think about it because I know he was an executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe he had some input with the story, but I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much time on it.
The one question I want to talk
Candyman
about.
3, I rented that on VHS years ago.
Did you? Did you love it?
It would have been cool if we got the
finish it, and I haven't since.
It would have been cool if we got the sequel they were supposed to do. The whole.
With Bernard Rose.
Was it like a ski lodge or something? I know it was snowing or something.
I don't know what happened, but I know Bernard Rose wanted to make a sequel, and he didn't get to do it, and they made Farewell to the Flesh instead. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody know that?
I don't know when exactly it was supposed to happen, but.
Well, there's a couple different things. I think what you're talking about was because there was recently an article published by Bloody Disgusting.
Yeah, I think that's the one I saw.
Where Tony Todd talked about the potential Candyman 4 that they were going to do. It sounded terrible, in my opinion. But
again, it's back to the whole, we want to see the slashers in the snow.
Yeah, but did you read the article? Because what he said, it sounded atrocious. Like, basically, Candyman cut off his own arm to end the curse, and so now he's human, and he's a professor at some all-girls school. And
okay, never mind. I'm good.
Yeah, it
terrible. Sounds bad.
I'm in.
He became Indiana Jones.
Yeah. When does this take place?
Probably the year it was supposed to be made, probably.
That sounds so dumb.
I'll find that Bloody Disgusting article, and I'll
yeah, I must have missed that one.
Chopped off his arm. He's like, this belongs in a museum.
So he's able to pull himself into the mortal coil and become human again? That's what you're saying here?
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. That's awful. If that's what Bernard Rose wanted to do, because Tony Todd endorsed that idea.
No, that's not. No. That's separate from what Bernard Rose wanted to do.
Okay, I was going. That's awful. That's worse than Halloween H2O.
How would that movie even work? Like, was there some kind of like weird cursed sperm chasing Candyman throughout the movie?
You mean like the Dream Demons?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, so is that supposed to follow up Farewell to the Flesh then?
No, the third one.
Yeah. Oh, so it would have been Candyman 4.
Yeah.
Candyman 4 goes to college. Candyman goes to college. Is that...
Candyman meets Candy Cane.
Well, that could be because it could be, Christmas. It could be Christmas break at the school. Candyman Goes skiing. How's he gonna ski with one hand? He's not the fucking drummer from Def Leppard, for God's sakes.
He just sticks the ski pole in his arm.
It's garbage. Okay, so anyway, so that's Candyman. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with the Candyman movies?
I don't know. Do you guys want a sequel? Like, I mean, we'll probably get one. We might get one. But do you want one? I mean, I'll watch it if it comes out.
So I'd like to see more Tony Todd.
Yeah.
Somehow, but I don't think that if they made a sequel, I think they'd go using Yahia. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Black Manta, as the Candyman, which I'd also be fine with. I think that would be fine, but because I felt like that's what they were going to do anyway, is try to create a new Candyman to make more movies eventually. You know what bothers me is they made pop vinyls for this movie. Where's the Tony Todd pop vinyl?
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. I was hoping Hot Toys was going to make a 6-scale Candyman figure.
I doubt it. I don't
Didn't
think
happen.
it's popular enough.
They made a Pennywise, and I'm like, now I need to make a Michael because Michael is popular and it's making a lot of money.
Well, Michael and Pennywise are way more popular than Pennywise. I think it is the top-grossing horror movie of all time, or something like that. So, I can see why they did that. They're going to make some bucks off that. I haven't watched those in a while. Well, we could talk about those. We haven't never talked about those. I don't think. Have we?
I don't think so. I need to watch the second one again. I only saw it once.
Well, we're gonna change up the format of the show here soon anyway, so we'll have to figure all that out. That's right, folks. We're gonna change things up a little bit. It's gonna be a whole new show. It's gonna be all three of us topless, and Keith's gonna be smoking on his vape pen or whatever that is, and then Seth's gonna be smoking a joint, and I'm gonna get a cigar, and we're gonna be smoking topless. That's the new show. That's the new format. I hope you all enjoy it. It's gonna be a smoking good time, really. Anyway,
yeah, I don't think Kayla would go for that.
Well, you being topless and
yeah.
So if you're going to Horror Hound, by the way, Keith is going to cosplay for the first time ever, right?
Yep, I should be until I should be. I'm taking it with me, but I found out.
Don't puss out. Come on.
No, I'm not. I found out. I didn't realize Friday's show, which is what I'm going to, because that's the only thing I get tickets for.
You're only going for one day?
Yeah, I missed out on the weekend passes, and Saturday sold out.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, but Friday it's only 5 to 10 or 5 to 11.
Yeah, it's a short show.
Yeah, so I don't know how long I'm going to be in line to get Robert Englund's autograph.
I would say skip that because you're more than likely not going to get to see anything else. You're going to spend your whole day in line because that's like when he was there in 2018. I saw the line and I was like, nope. and then Bruce Campbell's was worse, and then they had Kiefer Sutherland there as well. But yeah, I mean, his line may move faster because they don't really allow him to take pictures at the booth or anything like that.
Yeah,
I would get a photo op if you can get there for that, and I think that'd be the best thing to do. I know you want an autograph, but
total, I plan on getting 7 autographs.
I'll tell you what, get a picture with Robert Englund, send it to me. I'll fake his signature because I'm good at that stuff.
Well, I'm taking that Nightmare 4 one sheet.
What you could do, and I'm not condoning this, you could ask your wife to stand in line for you. Go get the other ones taken care of. I'm not joking, because you're talking about a big time crunch on Fridays. This is probably the worst day to go, in my opinion. Fridays, they start wrapping up earlier than they normally do. But I would ask her to stand in line. Go meet because when I met Lisa Wilcox, I went basically from Amanda Wiss to Lisa Wilcox to Tuesday night, no problem.
Well, the one thing I was hoping is they're sitting near each other, and I get the poster up there, and they're like, "Are you wanting all of us to sign this?" And they all just come over and sign it.
That won't happen.
Probably not, but that'd be way easier. I wouldn't have to unroll it.
Well, first of all, they're at 8-foot tables, so they're about 6 to 8 feet away. Plus, they probably have social distancing protocols. So you're gonna have to go table to table, and I'd keep it unrolled if I were you.
Yeah, we
got a comment here. Go ahead.
I was saying I'm getting all of them, but I was also going to get Nick Castle and I just forgot his name, Jude Courtney.
James, are you going to get him to sign your mask, or what are you going to?
No, he's going to sign my hammer, and Nick Castle's going to sign my knife, and then
that's right.
Everybody else is the poster.
Yeah. That's cool. I hope it works out. But seriously, like, hey, if you love me, you line for Robert Englund for me.
Yeah, I'm debating like as soon as I get there, just get in line for Robert Englund and then do all the cosplay and stuff like at the end or something.
Yeah, see, I the only thing I worry about is, and honestly, with a short day, that's only 4 hours or 5 hours. I don't know if you're gonna get to do all that and buy me toys.
Oh
But,
yeah, buy you toys.
yeah, I thought you were going for the whole weekend. I was like, oh man, that sounds like it would be fun. I can't believe they sold out the whole weekend.
Well, I debated on like when I get there asking if there is any extra tickets, because the only other problem with that though is I don't have a hotel, because I was just going to drive down and drive back home.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I really wish they do it in Indianapolis, but that doesn't sound like that's happening until 2023.
Yep.
So we'll have a big reunion since we were supposed to do that every year. Actually, Richard and Hannah are going to be there too.
Yep.
So maybe they can wait in line for you. And Richard is. So, I don't know.
It's like he's a Kruger.
He's a Kruger. He gets first dibs. I went to know with Bruce Campbell. They did line tickets. Like you weren't even guaranteed to see him because he was the main attraction there. So hopefully it's not the same with Robert Englund. I should say. I'm not a big fan of calling people by their first name. I like using their full name. It's respectful. Anyway, okay, so let's close out this episode. Let's do some final thoughts for the Candyman series. And Seth, I want you to add in, would you like a sequel? And do you think there will be one? So we'll start with you, though, Keith. Final thoughts and that question, even though you already asked it.
This movie's getting unnecessary hate that makes no sense. I think it's great. Like I said, I think it's like right below the original for me. I already pre-ordered the 4K and bought the soundtrack on vinyl. I'm ready to rewatch it so I can dissect it and watch the commentary. Hopefully that there's one.
I hope there is one. Yeah.
I don't need a sequel. I don't really want a sequel. If there is one, I'll definitely watch it though. I mean, I don't think they're gonna fuck it up anyway. I mean, it's Blumhouse. They usually know what they're doing.
Rumor has it the sequel is going to be Candyman Goes to Hawaii this time.
Is it not Blumhouse?
No. That'd be better. They should really start getting all these.
It is Universal though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Universal, and
that's why I was getting confused.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Monkey Paw.
Monkey Paw. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to ask? Were the opening credits all like backwards?
Yeah, they're all backwards for me.
I just want to make sure because I was like, did they fuck something up here?
No, yeah. When I started watching, I was like, please don't tell me this whole movie's gonna be backwards.
That's
why.
And
then as soon as the movie started, he's walking out of the apartment building. I was like, where's an apartment number? And I saw one, and it wasn't backwards. I was like, thank God.
Pretty much what I did too. What's that?
In the last trailer they had for it, when they showed all the studio logos, everything was in reverse. So
was it? I think it's supposed to be the whole mirror thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Steph, how about some final thoughts and the sequel question I asked?
Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, I liked it. I didn't love it. I had some problems with it. I think it was a very well-directed, well-shot movie. I like the score, even though it doesn't quite hold up to Philip Glass's score, but it was still really good and fit the movie. Nia DaCosta is a great director, and she made a lot of creative and interesting choices, but that's sort of like the double-edged sword with it, too, because at the same time, as creative and as cool as those kills were, I wanted to actually see some of it. Like,
yeah,
I felt like maybe the first kill, at the art exhibit there, that was fine the way it is. But the bathroom kills, like there was no reason to not show that stuff. Like, because I don't know, all of a sudden person disappears behind a stall, and then they all do, and then you just see a little bit. Like, I wanted to see some of the violence.
You sick.
There could have been a better balance between being creative and then showing us some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't really feel quite as intense as the original.
Yeah.
I didn't really, for the most part, didn't really care, who was in danger. Because everyone who was killed is, I guess, an asshole. So, Yeah, so it kind of played on that anti-hero thing rather than the terror, like, what Helen goes through in the original. That was terrifying. Waking up and, covered in blood in Anne Marie's
Mhm.
apartment,
Mhm.
and the
The
dog she
baby's
had,
gone. Yeah, the head. Yeah, that's a good point.
just everything she goes through is really terrifying. You kind of feel for her character because of that. Didn't really get that with this one. This one was more focused on story and character more than the horror, and that's not
Mhm.
necessarily a bad thing. Um, I would have liked a better balance, but I enjoyed it. I'm gonna own it when it comes out. Um,
Mhm.
but like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't put it above Farewell to the Flash because it's a really good sequel. But I want from Candyman is Candyman,
Makes
and
sense.
as far as the sequel thing goes, if like he says, I'll take another one if they do it. I'm not in a big rush for it, especially with if they're really gonna push the social justice warrior thing with it. I don't know. Might
I'm
be a little
just
too
looking
much.
looking for some Candyman Goes to Hawaii. That's what I want. I want him to win a surfboards competition. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel. Overall, I was happy with the series. When I heard it was coming out, I was like, no, because I thought they were remaking it, which I hope they never do. But I like this movie. I will give a fair and far better assessment of how I feel about it the second time around. All I know is I walked out of the theater and I could have turned right back around and walked in and watched it again.
Same.
And that's a rare feeling for me. So I was very happy with it. And I think part of it was, and Nate mentioned this, how excited he was about it. I can't build excitement up because of The Dark Knight. That movie did not live up to my expectations. So I try to go in thinking, like, okay, I can't. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie, but I'm not going to get overhyped about it because that and The Last Jedi ruined any kind of hype for me when it comes to a movie. That's why I'm like marginally excited about Halloween Kills. It's like I'm excited, but I'm like, I bet this could suck, and I don't expect it to suck, but I'm ready for it if it does because I've been same thing with Rob Zombie's Halloween. That like I went into that movie like super excited because I was still on the high from The Devil's Rejects with his movies, and I love Halloween. I'm like, well, this could work, even though I kept saying to my brother, I'm like, he should make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, not a Halloween movie. He's not the right
Agreed.
guy for Halloween. He should make Texas Chainsaw, and because the Texas Chainsaw remake I hated. So yeah, I went in trying not to be too excited because Candyman is one of my favorite horror movies. Period. And I was very happy with what they did. I'm glad, and I do not think it replaces Farewell to the Flesh. I do think that they all three can exist, and I'm not going to talk about the fourth one anymore or third one anymore.
Yeah.
But I think we all liked Candyman 2021. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Next up for horror, for me anyway, it's in the theater, is Halloween Kills in October, which I am, like I said, marginally excited about. But I'm excited because it's another new Halloween movie.
Mine will probably be Night House.
I don't think I'm going to go see anything. I'm too weird about everything with what's going on in the world right now. So it was a stretch for me to go out. I was so tempted not to go, but it's like I got to see this. And I same thing with Halloween. It's one of those I gotta see because I haven't missed a Halloween except for Halloween 2 in '09. I haven't missed a Halloween since Halloween 6 in the theater. So I even saw Resurrection multiple times in the theater.
Yep. Same here.
Well, I mean, we are the only ones that
I
loved
told
it.
people it was good. I lied to people.
Yeah, I mean, I came out stoked. I came out stoked with this grand plan to merge the timelines because I was very aware that Resurrection and H2O were on a different timeline with the Loomis timeline. I had this great. Me and my brother. The only theater showing Resurrection in this area was 45 minutes from my house, so we had 45 minutes to talk about Resurrection and how much we liked it then. And we're like, and they can do this, and then they can bring in Tommy Jarvis, or not Tommy Jarvis, Tommy whatever, then Tommy Jarvis, sure, why not? We talked Tommy Doyle. We talked about how to merge the timelines, and I came up with my own Halloween 9 movies fucking synopsis and started writing the script, bringing John Tate and Tommy Doyle together, and they fucked. But no, I'm joking. Anyway, well, that's our show for the night. We're going to be doing this again every Thursday. We're going to be doing 7 p.m., 8 p.m. on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast, 5. That sounds so weird, 5 p.m. Just in time for dinner. And we'll be doing different things here and there. We're gonna start sharing more news and other things like that rather than just dissecting a movie all the time. Maybe bring in some guests, like our old friend Morgan might come back and do a couple shows. Jared will probably be back around again. Nate will come and go as he pleases. I think the next one he wants to do is the Descent.
Ooh, what the hell?
Dude, I hope you're okay. God,
yeah.
Something flying around here. I hope you're okay, Luke, man. Sorry, guys. I got up and passed out fresh. Man, take care. Don't mess up that drawing hand, bro. Take care of your face.
You're gonna end up like the dude in Zoolander. I can't remember that actor's name.
I've never seen that. I hate Ben Stiller.
The guy's a hand model. He just has his hand encased in like a glass glove, so his hand doesn't get fucked up.
And you ask why I haven't seen that?
Zoolander's great.
Anyway, so next week, I'm not 100% sure if we're going to do a show. We may do a commentary for Night of the Creeps. We've been talking about that for a while. So, yeah, you guys want to just do that?
Can.
Throw me.
Gotta figure out which version to watch, but
the one that he has, which I think is the director's cut, right?
Director's cut, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll watch Night of the Creeps next week, and you guys get your DVD, Blu-rays, whatever ready, and we'll watch Night of the Creeps together. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please, or I will not make another video ever again. Have a good night.